What does their offseason look like? How do they come back and give themselves a good chance next year? Because this process has been processing. This process, bro. I think I was in university when this process started. Like,
you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
I think
You're right.
so,
You're
right?
right.
So,
You're right.
bro, that's like a good 11 years removed now. Like, what's going on? Like, time's ticking.
Come on, let's go, guys.
I mean, like, okay, look at where they came from the beginning of the season. James Harden. I want out. I want out. Right? It looked like a terrible start. Okay, you're gonna lose the star for nothing. Damn, like count 76ers out. Then Embiid starts balling. Maxey starts balling and improving year over year. Tobias Harris and the role players start to actually do more of their role. So like, what does their next season look like, or should they be making any tweaks, or should they just run it back and give themselves a good chance to be healthy, make sure that they're ready for next playoff? Like, what do they do?
Well, from the top of my head, I think the only players that are signed right now for next season is Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So they got lots of cap space going into the summer. What you
Yeah,
do is now you aggressively go for right now, especially if the Clippers get eliminated in the first round. You go after Paul George.
Paul George,
You
huh?
aggressively go after him. I'm
Yeah,
not saying Paul George is in his prime or he's what he used to be, but as a third option, bro,
option
that can play
dirty in
that
the
can play
East.
defense. What? Come on, come on. So yeah, they need to do that. They need to aggressively take the money that they have and get an all-star, get a star player, get somebody. Because
Yeah,
you need that third option that Tyrese Maxey, like, because Embiid is going to be injured, like, you have to count on that. You have to count on Embiid being injured. So you need an insurance policy, or you need like a third option that can up his game to being the second option, so Tyrese Maxey can be the first option if
yeah.
Joel Embiid is either injured, compromised, or can't do everything he needs to do. So that's what they
Facts.
need to do. You know what I'm trying to say? Because this series, Joel Embiid averaged 33 points a game. Maxey was at 30. The next person was like Oubre, I think, it was averaging 12. Everybody else shit the bed. Tobias Harris, 0 points in game 6. You're averaging 36 points a game. I'm sorry, you're getting paid $36 million in one season. And you're 0 points,
36?
points, something
36,
like that.
where is that? Per year. Jeez,
Something like
give
that.
that to PG.
That's what I'm saying,
Give
bro.
that
Tobias,
to PG, my friend.
yo, and the thing is, Jimmy Butler's probably laughing right now because I remember Jimmy Butler was like, Tobias Harris over me,
Fact.
Tobias Harris over me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say? So, like, so they gotta figure that out because that one year that Jimmy Butler was on that team, which was 2019 when Kawhi Leonard hit that shot. I mean, they were one shot away, one basket away from
Yeah.
reaching the Eastern Conference Finals. They
Yeah.
could have made the finals that year because
Yeah.
Giannis was
And
still kind of green.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. 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 And
so
PG was, I mean, like, Butler is not as good as PG. You know what I
no,
mean? So
absolutely. But you know what? Mentally, I like Jimmy
he's,
Butler.
yeah, for sure.
He's
For
there.
sure.
He's locked in, bro.
Yeah,
He's locked in,
for
and that's
sure.
what matters sometimes in the playoffs. You need guys that are just locked in, mentally there. Like the dog. A lot of guys have talent. A lot of guys have talent.
Yeah.
But if you're not mentally there, the talent doesn't matter at that point.
So don't
Like,
you see PG becoming a, sorry to cut you off, but
no, it's
don't
all
you
good,
see
bro.
PG becoming an issue come playoff time? Like, do you think he's gonna disappear and be like, okay, Maxi and B, you got it?
Um. Okay, so I think that would be a problem if Joel Embiid is not hit. If Joel Embiid is not healthy or he's not in the lineup? Yes, you're right. I could see playoff P, showing himself
Showing
and
up.
and not playing the best. But I guess in my head or in my world, I'm looking at it like, okay, Joel Embiid's there, Maxi's there. They both prove that when they're both on the court in the playoffs, they both can average 30 points a game, 30 plus points a game. So I'm looking at Paul George not having to do as much or having to overexert himself or force shots or try to get his own shot as much. I'm looking at it as Tyree Maxey can get to the basket when he wants, essentially. Joel Embiid can play, like when he's in the post, guys are always double teaming him. I'm looking at him as, okay, Paul George can hit those open shots. He can hit those open shots when when the defense is trying to break down on Maxey and Embiid. I can see PG. But you're right, it's still a risk. But at the same time, too, I think Paul George is one of the better free agents this year. So maybe give him a 2-year contract, 2-year max contract, see how it goes, and then maybe kind of take it from there. But they're gonna need that third option. They can't be a duo like Jokic and Murray. There needs to be a
Yeah,
three-headed
yeah,
monster. You know?
yeah. I hate seeing Maxey being the one on Philadelphia when Joel Embiid's out. I'm like, yo, you guys are gonna lose. Like,
Yeah.
in my head, like, you guys have no chance beating the Hawks. Like, you're not even gonna beat the Hawks. Like, yeah, I don't like to see it. And obviously, yeah, Embiid is gonna have his times where he's out, right? Even if it's just rest. So if you have two good scorers that are gonna consistently show up in the season for sure. PG will be there in the season. That's gonna attribute to more wins. They're definitely gonna end up like first or second. Um, so yeah, I think that would definitely help them be in a better position for playoffs. And also, if PG shows up and he's like a 1B, if anything, or even just a 2, like just a straight solid 2, he could be that too. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the only hard position to be is like that third position, and I think Maxey could take that. Like certain playoff games, they can kind of go between those two, right? If Embiid's the one, like the clear one, if you have PJ and Maxey taking turns, that's a good mix, and you put some good role players around there. That's gonna add a good team. Yeah. So because if the next highest score is 12 points and it's Kelly Oubre, what did you really get from these guys? If you have 36 M's in Tobias Harris, give that to PG. Give
Yeah,
that to
probably.
PG straight up.
I don't know what Tobias Harris has got to go, bro. I'm surprised he's still on the team right now. Like this is
Oh, for real? Damn,
like
I like him. I like him, but he definitely doesn't produce as much as 36 million, for sure.
no, he's
For
got to
sure.
he's got to go, and they got to figure that out because
Oh,
Joel's only gonna get more injured. He's getting older. He's a big guy. He's like 300 pounds.
yeah.
Like you're like your window to win. Sorry, your window to win is so small, man. It's like, what do you do? And like you said, trust the process. Years ago, they started this. Still
Yeah.
haven't made outside the second round. Still haven't made outside the second round. So, what are we gonna do as the 76ers? See, I don't know. I think I play 2K a lot, too much. Sorry, like I play like my GM mode. So like I'm the
Okay.
GM and I do trades and stuff like that. And yo, bro, I'll be like that. If my player on the team doesn't produce 2 playoffs in a row, they out, bro. They out because I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
what am I
you're the
doing?
one controlling. Oh, you do the my GM. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool. That's fine. That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. So I'm just saying,
I'm
I'm like
like,
you
this
out.
guy's swapping out people, and he's the one taking the shot. Yo, this guy's losing it.
Because Wallace, right? Wallace. It's like, what do you okay, Wallace? Objectively, do you hold on to Embiid? Somebody that you guarantee is going to be injured. He's every year that they get kicked out, it's because he's injured, he's compromised, he's
Yeah.
tired. He's one of these things. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. I just look at it like, why do we have to keep seeing the same movie every year? Like, what are we gonna do with Embiid?
It's
Like,
giving you Chris Paul vibes, huh?
I mean, kind of, but like injuries is not their fault, right? Like I'm not blaming them for the injuries, but as an organization, what do? Do you just ride
Yeah.
it out until he retires and then not win a championship? Or do you just hope that one year that Embiid does not get injured, that you can hopefully win? Like because
Mhm.
if the 76ers, sorry, if Embiid's healthy, they're probably beating the Knicks. They're probably beating the Knicks, right? Because like I said, a lot of in the fourth quarter when Embiid wasn't showing up, I don't know if it was fatigue. I don't know if he was feeling sore because a lot of those times, like a lot of those rebounds, Josh Hart was grabbing them, Mitchell Robinson was grabbing them,
Yeah.
and Joel Embiid's just standing there. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's not
I
even
saw that.
jumping.
Why is Josh Hart getting bare rebounds, bro? Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's like, what do we do, bro? That's what I'm saying. So like, when I say to get rid of players, it's not because I'm hating or I don't think they're great. I'm just saying, what do you do? What do you do? That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Okay, so I mean, yeah, it's tough because like there's like these like historical players that always get hurt in the playoffs. Like, and there's like a good handful of them, and Joel Embiid is one of them. So like that's kind of something you have to take into consideration, just like anything else in terms of like 3-point percentage, defensive prowl, all that stuff. Like that's one thing that you have to really consider, especially long term. So, I mean, that's a tough question to ask. I think. I'm always like, give them one more try, and that's probably like my whole fault, because clearly like it doesn't work. But I think there's gonna be that one time that you can squeeze it out, kind of thing. because a championship is really hard to come across. A lot realistically, there over the past 5 years, there's like 3 or 4 teams that could have won and deserving of winning. So it's really just how the dominoes fall, right? But of course, longevity of a player is one thing that you need to consider when you're signing a player and choosing to keep them, right? So it's rough. It's a tough one.